Hello, hello, hello. I do apologize. Bear with me one second, ladies and gentlemen. I am just getting myself ready. I'm just making myself pretty for you all. Hello, hello, and
Oh,
welcome to 2021. Mr. Pavlov, hold on
hello,
one second. I'm
Banksy.
about to bring you. Welcome to Centrist Supremacy, Mr. Pavlov. Can you hear me?
Are we on yet?
We are
No, I don't think
live.
we're on,
We
right?
have been live for several minutes, and now
I can't
you
hear you,
are
man.
on screen. Can you hear me? Hello? Ah,
Banksy.
wait a minute. Aha. Okay, can you hear me now? Hear me now, hear me now. Sorry
Yeah,
about
okay.
that, Mr. Pavlov. We've been live for several minutes. I just forgot to unmute myself. Oh yes, we've been live for well since the music started. Really, that's how long we've been live. But it's okay.
Yikes.
They haven't seen you though. They've been watching mostly the graphics and all that prettiness. So it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Your hair was uncombed, Pavlov. It's all right. Looking good, Mr. Pavlov. How is life?
Thanks,
Happy New
thanks.
Year to you, sir. How is things? How is
Happy New Year. Well, look, we say in Portugal that an image means 1,000 words. So I'll just show you what you already know. Basically, description of my New Year.
nice, nice. And did you start off at that level or you ended at that level?
Uh,
Nice. So you had a good one. I did actually see you on a particular
yeah,
famous or semi-famous what's it called? Speaker's Corner videographer, if
yeah,
you will.
yeah. I
Did
know, I know.
did you? I saw you at well, at least the clip that I saw was at going over Westminster Bridge, over towards Waterloo and the
Yeah.
Millennium Wheel, and the police made a line, and they kind of stopped you guys from, or wanted to stop you guys from going, but then people just barged through and they couldn't stop you. And did you take any footage? Did you record anything that night? What the
I
fuck,
was
man? What? You're supposed to have recorded all that shit for us.
Well, look, I'll be honest with you. There wasn't that much to be recorded. It's not like the police were so trigger happy like they are in Speaker's Corner.
Ah,
Because
so
look,
they
if
didn't
were,
arrest anyone.
I don't know. They probably did some arrests, but not. I wasn't. I didn't witness a single arrest. I tell you what, I didn't
Oh,
see any arrests. But
on that
then
video
was,
though, on that video
uh,
that Mister
which,
Mister So and So
Mr.
recorded, there was a guy.
Did why don't you say his name? Like, what's
I don't want to
the?
advertise. I don't want to promote his shit.
Why,
I'm
man?
not promoting wife beaters friends.
Oh, come on, man.
Ah,
Poor Mo.
yeah. Okay, Mister Rax, Mister Rax. Fine,
Oh,
fine. I will speak his name, the Voldemort of Speaker's Corner. But you were in that
yeah.
video, and I think somebody did get arrested in that video because there
Really?
was a yeah. Because as I don't know, maybe you already pushed. Did you go past the police line towards the wheel?
Yeah.
You may have already gone past the police then when the police, because Rax did record a guy getting pushed towards the wall by a female police officer, and then you know how the police, as soon as one person has been recorded,
Pinky.
yeah, one person is being arrested, the police kind of cordon off or create like a little circle in front of the people so that the person getting arrested isn't interrupted or no one disturbs them. So I think they did arrest at least one person in that instance. But as far as most of the people are concerned, yeah, I noticed they seem to just wander through without any real issues.
Hmm.
I mean, what happened? Describe to us what transpired. From start to beginning. Where did you meet, and then where did you go?
Stop the video.
Yeah, from start to
Uh,
beginning. Fucking English.
uh, English. What is that? But yeah, look, man. I'll just begin by saying one thing. I didn't film and I didn't see any arrests, probably for a similar reason. It's because my cognitive abilities weren't at their peak during that night.
I see. I see.
Let's just say that. You know, but yeah, I was hanging around with some friends. We were walking from place to place. We walked around some parks, and the fucking parks had police patrols to see if anybody goes to the parks
Hmm.
to harass people. We started walking on the streets, and on the streets there were also some people, trying to harass, some police trying to harass people and shit. Then we went to the actual spot at, London Eye, and there
Hmm.
was police there, obviously, but there they were a bit more lenient. I mean, when we actually got to the protesters, before we got to the protesters, we like the police started chasing us, shouting at us to go home and whatnot. All of that bullshit, all of the usual bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Uh,
So they
and
shouted at everyone to go home. You're on the tier 4. You must go home now. All that nonsense.
yeah, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, and but then when we went to the actual protesters, then the police kind of just stood around just for a good while, and then they went for Pierce. I don't think if he actually got arrested. I didn't see him getting arrested, but the police definitely had a little circle of friendship around Pierce. So,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
and then we climbed the stairs from London Eye to the actual bridge, and that's where I think that is the moment where I showed up in the video. When we were walking to the other
Yeah,
side.
that's what I mean. That's where I started to notice you were there, and and then I saw everyone walk down the stairs, and then as you were approaching the Millennial Wheel, I saw a line of police officers. Initially, they were stopping people and pushing them back and stuff. But then, as the crowd got bigger and bigger and bigger, and became more and more people, they realized it's just too many to arrest in one go, and it's going to cause issues. So they just, and even if they arrest one or two, the others are just going to walk through. So either way, they're going to lose this line. They can't hold this line.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Look. I think they didn't do too many arrests for two reasons. First of all, because there was a considerable amount of people at that point. I mean, not like a lot of people, but a few dozen, a few. I don't know, man. There were lots of people. There weren't a lot of people in the protest itself, but there were a bit more people just hanging around the place. You know what I mean? Waiting for New Year. So if the
mhm.
police doing arrests, they might have caught people not actually from the protest. So that might be one of the reasons. And the second reason is that many people were just hanging around and drinking. So there would definitely be some people who are actually drunk. And, any arrests would not have an actually good imprint on those people. They would either ignore it because they're drunk, or they would get violent because they're drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those are the reasons that the police was hanging back a little bit. But I'm sure they did do some arrests, just not as many as they usually do on protests.
Excuse me. I do
So,
apologize. I think there's a bit of dust or something. Um, yeah.
call it dust,
So
man. Call it dust.
I know, man. I know COVID dust. Um, I'm just in the process of actually doing final tweaks. I didn't realize time went by so quickly today that suddenly I caught myself and it was 3 minutes to 8, and I'm like, oh my god, we have a show. uh, I was busy with other things, and suddenly caught myself in a bit of a late night. I've called the show "Welcome to 2021." I couldn't think of anything better, to be perfectly honest. So let's just go with that one until maybe a better title for we can
You
either
should
we
have
can.
you should have called it thought destruction combo
Yeah, but this is centrist
like
supremacy.
that.
The thought stuff
True,
only.
true,
I
true,
only use the thought stuff for my show. I don't.
true, true, true.
I don't use
Well,
the
yeah, look,
thought stuff.
I did watch the video that you put on BitChute, right? You should link it on this video. I don't know. Did you link it?
That's
Or
true.
on,
That's true. I can link it below. I can link the
yeah,
BitChute.
link the thing below because it's really funny, man. I did watch the video. It was really funny, especially when you went through her Twitter a bit.
Oh
You showed some
yes.
tweets.
Oh
It's
yes.
like it goes like this. It goes like this. Basically, I'll just give a quick crash course to the crowd. So, Zubida's pictures can be described in two different ways. There, Islam, weed, Islam, weed, Islam,
Yes.
Islam, weed, alcohol, sex,
Yes.
Islam.
Pretty
It
much.
always this fucking pattern, man. It's like it alternates between weed, alcohol, sex, she. she actually goes there. I look innocent, but deep down, when look innocent, but deep down, you're a fucking bitch. Like,
Yes, exactly. Little
Jesus.
Zebedee, zippy, hippo zippy. She basically, because the thing is, she went through and started to call, did a little mini segment on me in her shitty little show.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, she had me on her show. I mean, to be honest with
Another
you,
one.
if
What did
I'm
she
not
say?
mentioned in Zebedee's shows at least once, I'll feel something is wrong and I have to do something about that. So, in all honesty, personally, I think uh, it's like, if, as I say, for me, if as long as I'm mentioned in Zebedee's show at least once,
Hmm.
I'm satisfied. I'm like, I can sit back and go, okay, life is like, all is well with the
She
world.
she remembers. She
Yeah.
remembers. She remembers the Iranian
I'm,
troll.
I'm still triggering the crap out of this girl. So as long as I can do that, then I'm happy. I'm happy to just sit back and let it be. But if she doesn't mention me, then I have to do something to make sure I am mentioned. For anyone who wants to see the Banksy BitChute show, that what I did on Friday or yesterday actually, on Thursday on New Year's Eve, it is in the description, and I posted the link. Now, can you tell me if you see the link in the actual chat? I posted it in the chat
Hold on.
because
Wait, wait.
I'm still worried about me not being able to post links. I was able to last night.
Wait. Let me check it out.
Hmm.
Uh,
Let me do it again.
StreamYard BitChute. There
No,
is a
no.
BitChute here.
Yeah, but
I can see
you
it.
can see a link in the actual URL link in the chat, right? In the text.
Yeah, I can see it in the chat too.
That's
Yeah. And they
fine.
both
That's it.
work.
That's
Apparently, they both work. Yeah.
yeah. That's all I was interested, because I was unable. I thought maybe there was something wrong with my system, or bitch, or YouTube is like punishing me for something. But I think it was a glitch. I think it was some sort of
Maybe.
a glitch that I was unable to post links for like two different shows. I wasn't able to do it on this show. I wasn't able to do it when I did my own show on my thing. But I think it must have been some sort of a weird glitch,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
now I'm able to do it. So it seems okay. I don't know. I don't know. But apart from your little act of rebellions, Mr. Pavlov, you naughty lawbreaker, you, uh, with your running shoes on, no doubt, running from the police. Um, did you what other things transpired? Was there any young ladies that you may have celebrated your New Year's with? Is there
Uh,
any gossip that we can indulge in?
that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I prefer people to, in especially in Speaker's Corner, because there's lots of wastemen there,
Yeah.
to say, "Oh, Pavlov never saw him with a girl, never saw him with his girlfriend. He's gay. He's gay." I much rather have that than have people actually know who I'm with when I'm with someone, and
Hmm.
start talking shit about her and start going
That
for
is
her.
true. That is true.
There is
No,
no way I would ever bring my girlfriend to Speaker's Corner, man.
oh
No,
no, no, never in a million.
hell,
I don't even tell anyone
no
that I
fucking
know
way.
that I don't want even people that know me
Absolutely,
to come to speakers,
absolutely,
just like random
absolutely,
friends, let alone
absolutely.
girlfriends. So we're to take it from that you actually have a girlfriend, so you didn't actually hook up with some random rebellious chick on New Year's Eve.
Come on, Venk, you're trying to push information, man. You're trying
No,
to
no,
pull some
no. I'm
information
not
from
pushing.
me.
I'm just saying that you didn't hook up with some random drunken bird last night because
No,
you
I
actually
didn't. I
are in a
didn't.
committed
That's
relationship.
honestly, I'm not honestly not really into just randomly finding some drunk chick on the street and whatever. Not because it's a little bit dodgy. You don't know who the
Mm,
person be. it's best when you meet with someone. Let's talk about dating a little bit. Let's hear
Sure.
some tips about dating.
Let's get some tips from
Uh,
the Slav,
exactly,
the
exactly.
Slav squad
From
tips.
okay, comrade, it's not very good to just find a chick and hang out with her and go to her home when she's drunk. Because you never know. You never know what's going on the other side. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that. That's why.
Well, I mean, on a serious level, this is actually genuinely serious for young men, especially young teenage men. Um, if you in this day and age, from what I've noticed and what I've heard, if you hook up with a girl who's drunk, she could potentially call you on a rape charge, bring
Oh
you
yeah.
up on rape charges the next day. So it is actually becoming an incredibly dangerous activity to get hook up with some girl that's drunk, because nowadays they're saying that if a girl is drunk, she literally can't give consent. She is unable to give consent, and thus, even if she doesn't bring you up on rape charges, other people could fucking bring it up, because they demean, they may have observed that this girl was too drunk to be hooking up with you. So it is a serious concern. I'm not even joking. For young men, where if you think you can hook up with a girl because she's drunk, think twice, because this could go horribly, horribly wrong for you the next day. Especially if the girl wakes up out of some, after some coitus activity, and coitus interruptus, after some after some carnal knowledge of each other, and she regrets it, and she suddenly decides, oh no, it wasn't consensual, because she doesn't want you to tell anyone, or embarrass her, or in all sorts of scenarios. Nowadays, women are in this sexual, when it comes to sexual interactions, they're in a tremendous, powerful position. You just don't want to get fucking me too'd. I feel so
Yeah.
bad for young people nowadays, because, when I grew up, I had plenty of hookups when we were drunk and pissed off. In fact, we got drunk exactly for that reason. That was the point of getting drunk, was so that we hook up with girls when we lose our inhibitions, and both girls and guys, we all lose our inhibitions, and we get over our shyness. But nowadays, it's a freaking death sentence. Literally could mean the difference between you going to jail and not. It's a serious, serious thing. So yeah, for young men, I feel bad, but I have to say, as a social influencer, I must. I couldn't even say that without laughing. I couldn't finish that fucking sentence without actually recognizing the moronic expression that is. But yeah, as a social influencer, generally as someone who talks shit online, um, I
As let's be honest, as a big deal, as
as
a
a
kind of
big deal, yeah, as a big deal, yeah. But as a shit talker online, I just want to say,
that's the perfect definition, bro. Like on your channel, on the description, just write "shit talker online." That's
yes,
it.
shit talker online.
It explains everything. Yeah?
This it shouldn't be there shouldn't be like a conference for social influencers. There should be a conference for shit talkers online.
Absolutely.
Internet shit talkers. That's the honest. But anyway, as anyone who has an online presence, who can at least say something on this matter, I will definitely say I'm sorry if you're a young 20-something-year-old man, but you have to be careful. You are literally, walking on thin ice, and at any moment it could give underneath you. So be absolutely sure. I'm telling you, I would say, if you're gonna have sex with a girl, make sure you've discussed it in some sort of text form or email, or perhaps a signed affidavit by a lawyer, because you need to have some evidence. In Canada, they're even saying that text messages or any kind of electronic messages between the two parties is inadmissible, because it might actually discourage women from coming forward. So they're even moving towards, if you even have evidence of this girl wanting to have sex with you in like texts and letters, and or emails and stuff, they say you can't even admit that, present that for
Use it
court.
as evidence.
Yeah, you can't use it as evidence. They want to stop
Fuck.
people from even using that as evidence that the girl was interested in sex. So if a woman says you raped me, you are fucked. Like on multiple levels. You can't even present evidence to show that this was nothing of the sort. It's, I mean, in a way, really what it says is don't fucking piss off a woman. That's basically it. Because if you piss off a woman and a woman decides to say, "Fuck it, he raped me," you're fucked. I mean, in this country, thank goodness, we still have some sort of judicial process, so you can still actually present evidence. But in Canada, they're talking about. I don't know whether they are talking about it or they actually have stopped people presenting evidence. It might be now. There's two different scenarios here. In Canada, there's the legal, governance of the country. Then there's the universities doing their own investigations. Now, sometimes the legal law, like the courts and all that, will allow you to present proper evidence and do things properly. But the kangaroo courts in the universities could have you expelled from the university without you being able to present or defend your case in any way. So you could be chucked out of university. You may not go to jail, but you could literally have your entire university career destroyed because of some girl making a false accusation towards you, and you have no way of actually fighting your case. So it's even if it's not legal, I know that the universities have gone fucking insane. Again, I'm so sorry if you're a young teenager or a young man that's trying to go through university and navigate through this insanity that we call the 21st century Western civilization, because it is insane. But having said that, you were going to talk about dating, Pavlov. I do apologize for interrupting. Let's get back. Let's wheel it back to dating tips by Pavlov,
Oh my
the
god.
Slav
I
dating.
can't. Well, that's too late, man. I kind of forgot what I was talking about exactly.
Well, we were talking about hooking up on New Year's Eve. That's where it
Oh
all
yeah, yeah,
started.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then I don't know. Do you have tips? You said you don't want to hook up with people. How do you meet people? So do you meet anyone online? Do you have any online dating presence? Or I mean, obviously you
Oh
have.
yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me establish this from the top. Do you
yeah.
do we can we assume that you have a long-term girlfriend and you're not actually looking for new girls at this present? Can we just say we can assume such a thing so that way you're
Man,
not
see, no,
in the
I'm not
shit?
gonna comment about my situation. I'm gonna talk about things that what people can do. I'm gonna
Okay.
comment on the people have, but not about particulars about myself.
Oh, okay. In
I
that case, that's perfect.
I do not speak about that. I'll even give you a good reason for that. Because look, not so long ago, this guy, Palestinian,
Mhm.
he started coming to Speaker's Corner not so long ago.
The
Start,
717.
huh?
Is it Palestinian 717?
Yeah, that's the one.
All
That's
right,
the
all
one.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Coming not so long ago, he started beefing with some people. He had beef with Omar, had beef with Mr. X, had beef with Modine. And
Okay.
from I'd assume, oh, okay, he's a decent guy because he beefed with all the people you don't like. But yeah, now he's also beefing with me because he's been basically walking around Speaker's Corner begging cigarettes from whoever has cigarettes, and then trying to hang around people who have nothing to do with him. Then he hangs around with jihadis, like actually in a friendly way, like in a guy called Candyman. He has a channel also. He's like a complete and utter fucking jihadi, as far gone, if not worse, than Uncle Omar. It's like the guy was shouting when Tommy Robinson came to Buck. He was shouting that the teacher getting beheaded in France, was a job well done. He
Holy
was shouting
shit.
Hatun getting smacked was a job well done too. Like they deserved it, man. So the guy is really hardcore fucking jihad of peace, man. Like serious. Jihad spotting would be all over that guy. Your video, jihad spotting,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over that, all over him. Almost every single thing coincides with Candyman, and he just
Nice.
hangs with these people, and he keeps bigging them up, keeps agreeing with them, keeps saying, "Oh yeah, they're right, they're right, they're right," and then walks around the place and starts giving these low IQ jokes to people, like to me. The guy who's, by the way, it's funny. He's Palestinian, right? I'm Ukrainian. He
Mhm.
came to me, started saying, "Oh, well, do you drink vodka in Ukraine? You drink a lot of vodka, yeah, 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 lots of drunks in Ukraine." But hold on. It's like in Russia. It's like in Russia. Oh wait, Ukraine is Russia. And just these low IQ jokes that I've heard a million times. And I turn to him and I tell him, bro, you're from Palestine. Can you really make fun of me? I still have a fucking country, man. What are we talking about here? Like, what the fuck are we even talking about here? Go suck some Jewish dick, man. And the guy got really triggered. He basically pissed off, and now he is siding with Overdose for some reason.
Overdose.
Yeah.
The thing
exactly.
is, don't get me wrong. He came at me with the same sort of energy. He came at me like, "Oh, wanksy style, oh, wanksy," and he was like, "Dude, what do you have that goatee? You look like an idiot. You look like a prick." And I haven't shaved it off because of him. I just shaved it off because I fancy shaving it off. But yeah, he came at me with that sort of stuff, and I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? What? I barely had 3 words to say to you, and you're immediately insulting me. Now I presumed he was insulting me because I say shit about Islam, and most Muslims hate my guts. So I just chalked it off to that, really. But I did notice that he is a little bit like he seems to just throw little jabby insults at everyone. He's not. I mean, now what you described to me, it seems that he does this to everyone. He's not. I wasn't uniquely special, which makes me feel a little bit sad. But nevertheless,
No, he doesn't do it to everyone. He doesn't do it to everyone. He doesn't do it to the worst of the fucking waste man, like Candyman. He doesn't do it to him because he's a fellow jihadi.
Well, that's why then.
I agree about this shit. The guy would fucking support Hamas 100% if he could. But anyway, look, the point that I'm trying to make is this: in the beginning, Palestinian didn't show his colors immediately to me. Like he was more or less friendly, just saying hello, goodbye, just filming around, So I thought, okay, whatever, just a random guy, a new person, speak Kwon, it's good. It's good because there's not a lot of people there right now, right?
Yeah.
And in the beginning, he started asking me where I live. He started asking me for my phone number. He started asking me for my location, for information about me. And I was like, well, shit, this guy seems to be nice, but I don't really want to give this shit to anyone. I don't really give personal information to people like that. And he bitched and moaned about it, and he complained, "Yo, don't you trust me? Don't you trust me?" And then bam, you get this. Or you want another example? Let's talk about Zubida for a second. Your bestie.
Yeah.
Remember that time that she invited me to her stream, supposedly to say that she feels bad for me getting attacked, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny because first it started with her saying, "Oh, yeah, we feel bad for you. We feel bad for you. Hope you recover well, yeah." And then it slowly transitioned to talking shit about you. It works. Yeah, but look, this is how it works. She knows I'm your friend. She knows I hang around with you. So she needed to start by, licking my boots a little bit. So that then I would be kind of psychologically forced to agree with her about what she has to say about you. The problem is I didn't agree. So she started trash talking again, and a few streams after that, she literally started making fun of me for getting attacked. It's just really funny shit, man. Who is that? Is that IC?
Yeah, I just want to say hello, Mr. IC3. Is that you, sir?
Yes, it's me. Happy New Year to all. So I'm listening to you both and catching up on the gossip.
Yes,
it's getting a bit. It's really it's too much for me. I can't keep up with all these different characters. It's like it's too much. I have to just listen. I'm trying to keep up though.
There is a lot of funny characters. I mean, I guess you haven't been there for a while, so you may not have known about the people we were talking about, like Palestinian 717. He's semi-new. He's been around, but he's kind of new to the scene, you could say. He's slowly bringing up his profile.
He's in the shadows. Yeah, he's been in the shadows.
Yes, exactly.
His channel has a few years old, man. It's not like he has a new channel. Oh, Christopher, how's it going, bro?
Hey,
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Hey guys,
Christopher, I just want. There you go.
How's it going?
There are a lot of people who clone other people, and then they get on, and then you so. I got. Hey, Mama didn't raise no fool. Mama didn't raise no. I'm keeping my.
Yeah. So how's it changed then? Down there since the shutdown. I've only just been watching the changes. It seems to be more hostile. The police seems to change,
Yeah. Look,
and there seems to be the old speakers corner crowd that seem to be directly up against the police, while the police used to be kind of cool. There's kind of a friendly.
Not exactly. Look, the police is not cool at all. Like after PC Barnes left, it's been gradually but progressively getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And be a slight improvement. Like when the lockdown ended, there was a slight improvement that we were kind of allowed there. But mostly it's been just degrading worse and worse. The police has just been getting out of hand all the time. They just they just give zero freedom to anyone who wants to go just because COVID. And look, I would say one of the main differences is that almost no Muslims come to the park anymore, like almost zero. But
right, interesting.
Yeah, but look, the problem is that's actually a big dude. No, but look, that's a big problem, honestly. Because look, I'm kind of missing the Dawas right now, because the Dawas, at least they would have fucking acted goody two shoes. At least they would fucking condemn occasionally some real stupidity. Do you really think Uncle Omar is gonna condemn anything, or Candyman, or police? Bro, they're hardcore fucking jihadis, man. They're not gonna condemn anything. They're like the worst of the worst scumbags in the Muslim community. So I miss the Dawas, man. I fucking miss the Dawas. I wish they came back, honestly. But I guess they're afraid of police. I think they have this mentality that the police is going to use COVID to imprison them because they don't like Muslims, apparently. I think, the Dawas have this mentality, which is not completely wrong. The police definitely does use COVID to imprison people. But it's not only Muslims. It's basically everyone. Anyone who comes there.
I actually think that the Muslims might actually get a bigger pass than the non-Muslims, because they can always go. Is it because I's brown? If the police give them any shit. see, the Muslims are being oppressed by the British state again. So
right.
I think they could have used all that racial sort of undertone for their benefit of actually not getting arrested. I mean, the other was it last Sunday, or was it the Sunday before? No, it was last Sunday when I was at Speaker's Corner, and then I got accosted by the police officer because I told him I'm there to record nature, and it wasn't the entire
record nature.
Yeah, he said, why are you at the park? I said, because it's a nice day and I'm at the park. And he goes, there's no speakers going. I said, no, I'm here just to record the nature, and just just the thing. And anyway, when he saw me with Pavlov and the gang, he was like, no, you lied to me. You were here for the. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, you're talking to me like I'm 12 years old. I'm probably older than you, so check that shit. Second of all, I came to the park and I went to get a cup of coffee. Now, what I should have done, and of course hindsight is 2020, I should have said, "I'm sorry, are you doing this to me because I'm an Iranian of an ethnic minority group?" Because I don't see you bugging anyone up.
Ethnic card,
exactly,
not the race card.
Play it, baby. It's like a ace up my sleeve. I just pull it out and go race. No, but
what vibe are you getting? I've been getting maybe it's the channels I've been visiting that this COVID is a way of changing the world forever, and that's going to keep going on for a few more years. This lockdown for a few more years. But recently, I saw a local library that will be opening soon, and there were some pictures of how things are going to change. And then that made me think, wait a minute, a local library, that's government. And pictures like this, it sounds like it could be open by summer.
So yeah, everything will be open up again by summer. Respiratory viruses, by definition, mainly occur in the winter. So cases will go down in the summer, just by definition. The real question is, does that mean that next winter they will lock it back down again? Like, is this going to be like just a constant thing? And they're not going to like open up again fully.
Like a seasonal lockdown every winter.
Yeah. Well, look, it's been established now, right?
that it can be
that
done.
because
Yeah.
some people might die, all of us have to change. This is a very, very bad precedent. You watch, they're going to start using it for climate change immediately after this. They'll be like, well, you know, you driving your car.
No, but look, that's the genius.
Other
I think
reason.
that's the genius of this situation, because climate change is a very general, very simplistic, we're all going to die, which is not easy to be accepted by the bigger crowds, especially since there have been so many doomsday predictions. So Extinction Rebellion had that working against them, I think. It was just people just couldn't comprehend the possibility of everyone dying. Let's face it, it was obvious it was bullshit, unless you were a fucking weed-smoking youth. It was really obvious it was a bunch of bullshit. But this is different. This is more real. Like, you want COVID? Your grandpa is gonna die. It's not we're all gonna die. No, it's not the world is gonna end. No, your grandpa is gonna die. People are dying.
Right.
People might. It's not might die in the future. They're dying. They already died, and some people will die in the future. What's the number of those people? Oh, why are you asking for numbers? Why do you care about numbers? Are those not people? If it was you who were dying, you would want to live. It's basically this kind of fucking arguments.
Yeah, that's right. That's
right. If even one person dies, that's too many.
Of course, dude.
You know?
Yes, you're right. Who's going to argue against that?
It's one guy who was high, who had COVID, and who, fair enough, the policeman held him down for too long. That's the policeman's fault.
Did he have COVID?
Not so long. He did, yeah. He had COVID too.
Yeah, he did. But he also overdosed on fentanyl because he fucking necked his entire stash. Fentanyl. So that the cops wouldn't find it.
Exactly.
And he fucking died. I mean, the weird thing about George Floyd is if you've actually like watched many of the police tapes, he got arrested before the event, right? And if you watch the entire tape of that arrest, it's actually pretty obvious that a lot of the shit that he's doing in the famous video is kind of like a bit that he does to like put cops off balance. Like he's, you know, like he basically pretending to be like all fucked up and stuff. I'm sure the guy has serious problems, but it was just weird seeing this previous arrest where he literally acted and said exactly the same shit. Like exactly. It's all up on YouTube if you want to check it out.
Dude, it's by the way, Christopher, send the video to Banksy. Let's see that a little bit later. Try to find the Banksy.
Yeah, all right.
No,
Put it in the side chat.
But look, I mean, it's just the oldest trick in the book. You know, those scenes where two people are in prison, like prisoners, and one of them starts acting sick, and the other one, help, my friend is dying, and then the stupid guard comes in, and they hit the guard on the head and leave the place.
Oh yeah, that in the movies, yeah.
It's such a stereotype that it's not even funny at this point. It's like the oldest trick in the book, and people really, really don't see that it might be used by people in real life. It's used all the fucking time. People lie all the time about this shit. You get away with bullshit. But yeah, look, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a very simple prediction about what's going to happen next. COVID is not going anywhere. Ever. It's not a matter of 1 year. It's not a matter of 10 years. It's not a matter of fucking 100 years. This was, they tested it. And it worked. It fucking worked. It's new. The new way of pleb enforcement will be COVID. That's going to be how it's going to be in the future, man. Like, they're going to say that the lockdown has finished. We're all free to do whatever we want. But the rules will actually remain very similar as what was during the lockdown. Only a few small changes might happen occasionally. But, it's like what I see in the future is that this is what they're going to do. They're going to make the situation, let's say, worse by 10 points, right? Let's count the... Banksy, are you... What?
Sorry. I'm good.
Okay.
What happened?
Look, let's imagine this. Let's count how much worse it gets by points, right? The situation gets 10 points worse from 1 month to another, but 1 month later, it gets 1 point better. And the media will overblow that 1 point to such an extent that people will think in their minds, oh, okay, the situation is actually getting better. They're actually letting us off the hook. Like,
right. But the system's in place, that's what you're saying. It's a kind of a procedure.
Yes. It'll keep progressively getting worse and worse, but they will show small leniencies, like these small mercies towards us.
Right.
You are getting your Christmas. Yeah, have Christmas. Yeah, have Christmas. But the rest of the year, no, stay home, cunts.
Right, that's right. So in people's mind, they can just very simply just completely change the nature of everything around the world, basically.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, that is power. Yeah.
That is power, yeah. Dude, look, I don't know if COVID was something done on purpose or something done by accident. It doesn't really even matter at this point, honestly. What matters is it's being used for power right now. It's being used for that.
Right.
You know, all around
And
the
the
place.
lessons.
Yeah, I mean, the test has succeeded. The test has succeeded because the plebs are fucking scared shitless. Look at them. They're still, most of the people who go to these protests, they're not the common folk. They're not the common working class. Lots of them are lots of them are wastemen. Not the normal people who go there, because normal people have been brainwashed at this point.
Right. Has there ever been a similar thing to COVID where the whole world basically can be locked down?
There has. It definitely has, but not this fast. Not this fast and not this globally.
Well,
they definitely have huge changes like this.
I mean, I don't think in human history we've had this level of human travel and ease of getting from one nation to another. I mean, you got to remember, before the invention of the jet engine and even the aeroplane, it took months for someone to get from Britain even to the United States. Because of ships, even steam engine ships took ages. So people literally there were times where people who would get on a ship in England, they would never make it to Australia, and they would give birth, and a whole new people would arrive at Australia. because the people who set off died along the way. And the kids that were born were the ones who made it to Australia. It's insanity. It was like crazy shit that went on back then. And people suffered from rickets and Lyme disease and all sorts of crap because of bad sanitation and water and everything on those ships. So this has been probably the only point in human history so far where people have been able to literally go within a matter of hours. You can count it in hours from one side of the planet to the other.
Right.
We've never had this capability as human beings up until now. So diseases can also travel at the speed of sound, the way humans travel at the speed of sound. So because we carry them, so that's why something like this has spread so quickly. It wouldn't have. I mean, the time of the Spanish flu, it was pretty bad, but the fact that it was contained was because there were no, the level of human movement was so much more limited.
The thing is, World War One was happening around that time. That's one of the reasons why it went global, because of all the troops returning, and the wars, generally speaking, provide like a lot of population mobility. It's one of the reasons they kind of have the future effects on society that they do. But yeah, you're right. Thanks, China. We should all buy a big New Year's present for Xi Jinping.
Thank you.
Maybe
Winnie
like maybe like a turd wrapped in honey or something like that.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, maybe this was a shot across our bow to just let us understand and come to terms or have some sort of proper contingency plan for potential, pandemics that could do this thing to us. Man. So I'm hoping
this isn't the shot across the bow. This is the bullet right in the dick. Like, this is the attack. This isn't the shot across the bow. Like, in my opinion,
this is real.
Right in the dick.
Yeah, man.
Not even a headshot, penis shot.
Yeah, because if you think about it, what if in military terms? I mean, what can they do if we can get across the world so quickly? What can they do, and how the military strategists thinking?
To sort of stop.
It must be on a different level.
This would effectively mean that at any point, I mean, this is, of course, if a nation is willing to kill their own citizens, they could release a biological weapon upon us, just as long as they can tolerate the the amounts of deaths that they themselves are going to have to endure. Like, for example, let's say China. Imagine if this was a biological weapon that China decided to release upon us. They calculate, okay, what are the collateral damage to ourselves, and how quickly we can recover from this, compared to how much damage we can inflict upon our enemies. And in all honesty, if that was their plan, they've done a great job.
And it's given them tons more power.
Or you can give your own nation the antidote in some way, in preparing them. You could for the international strike.
Yeah, you could vaccinate your own people over a period of a few years, and then release it. But the thing is, you see, you can't vaccinate all your people, because your people also have to be carriers.
Or you could have a massive population problem and figure that, well, hey, like if a few million of our own population die, then actually that might all be for the best.
But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. If you have a sadistic government which says, okay, we may lose 1 million to 1.5 million of our own people, but the amount of damage that we can inflict upon our enemies will be lasting for generations, we can accept those kind of losses. If you have a sadistic enough of a government that can actually do that.
Dude, that statement has China written all over the place. They will not care. They'll die. They'll get themselves killed in their country. They won't give a shit about that. Look, if I could, I would share some of the videos that I saw on LiveLeak and 4chan and other websites that share uncensored videos of accidents happening in China and shit that happens in China. Dude, it is insane. When somebody gets run over on the street, or someone falls on the street, cars just keep running over them over and over and over again. Nobody ever stops. Nobody ever checks on them. Nobody ever tries to help. Why? Because the person who brings the guy who's injured to the hospital is the one who gets to pay the bill. It's as simple as that in China.
Oh my freaking God.
That's how the rules are, man. That's how the rules are there. So people have been conditioned into this cold, uncaring, each one for himself kind of kingdom of us. You know what I mean? Right. And it's not only that there, it's in factories, all this stuff. Oh, China produces most of the stuff in the world. I mean, not most of the stuff, but like all of the stuff of the production is done in Chinese factories. How do they make it so cheap? Well, there's zero safety protocol in Chinese factories. I've seen, I'm not joking, I've seen hundreds of videos of workers in China getting sucked into the machine and getting turned into mincemeat. And it's like sometimes it's minutes or hours before anyone notices that something has gone wrong. It's insane.
Tasty.
But then again,
don't say that because people will take you seriously. Zubida will say...
No. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not being serious. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. People have no appreciation of irony in this day and age. They
literally don't.
Exactly. Right. Zubida keeps doubling down that Banks is a pedophile because he made a pedophile joke one time. It's insane, man. Yeah, he's a pedophile because he made a joke one time. Yeah, that's it. It proves it, man. It proves it, right? And if you
does that mean that means I'm accountable?
Very emotional. Are there any governments that care? The government, a government itself, the concept of government.
That's a good question. Look, I see three. I'll tell you what. I don't think. I think that most people in power never really cared that much if people die or live. It all depends. It doesn't depend whether they care or not. It depends whether the structure of the country defends the peasants. You know what I mean? It's all about that.
The structure itself, that's right. It's got to be built into the system, into the law.
Exactly.
That's right.
Look,
because power,
leaders never give a shit.
People kill for power.
Of course, absolutely. Look, I don't think leaders really give a shit in an overwhelming amount. But if the rules defend the peasants, if there's some kind of rules in place in the country to defend the common folk, then they will have to at least act that way, and they will have to do some things. Like in the West, they probably don't give a shit how many people die. They will lie, they will cheat, they will deceive, they will get people killed, they'll imprison people, right? But they will at least need to mediate it and reduce to a minimum amount because the rules demand so. But the rules are changing now. The rules are changing with BLM, with FIFA, with all this bullshit. we have lynch mobs going around the streets, attacking anyone undesirable, undesirable by the people in charge. Anyone whose politics is not does not conform with how the politics is going these days, and that's pretty scary, man, because we're going the way that China is.
Yep, guys, I've got this video that Christopher sent. Shall I play through?
Banksy?
Sorry, can you guys see me? This is a video. I'm sharing my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen. I'm sharing it with you. It's a video that Christopher sent us, and I was gonna play it. So
let's watch.
What's the theme? What's the theme?
Well, this particular video is titled "The 2019 George Floyd Body Cam Footage Accepted into Evidence." But the funny, well, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure if what. Yeah, I guess this is it. It's got to be the George Floyd thing, I presume.
Yeah, no. Okay, so this is video of George Floyd's previous arrest, and the reason they accepted it into evidence, right, in the trial, is that it shows that he behaved exactly the same way in this arrest as he did in the arrest in where he died. Like, it's very, very uncooperative. He's saying a lot of the same stuff. So it's
to demonstrate
like I was saying.
Behavior.
Yeah, but also to demonstrate quite possibly that he was like hamming it up. No, not really. Okay. Just that, that he's might have a history of acting more messed up than he really is in order to put the cops off balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, shall we play this? It's 8 minutes. You guys good? I mean, we can. You
sure.
Guys
I haven't seen the whole thing. This isn't the raw body cam footage. This is someone's edit of it, but it seems to be very deeply buried in YouTube. I couldn't find like the raw footage anymore. I could only find people making reference to it.
I'm with you. Well, I'm sure you.
Oh, someone's edit of it. Oh, jeez. That could be. It's twice as bad then. You know?
Yeah. That's what
it could be complete. Anyway, go on.
Okay, let's take it with a pinch of salt that this may have been edited, biased against George Floyd
by a racist.
Yeah. So we can put that in as a caveat that this may be not an honest decision. But it's the only piece of footage we have, so let's go with that.
Okay, now slowly come on out. Hand on your head. Put your hand on your head.
Into evidence to show George Floyd's character when he interacts with law enforcement. I believe they are trying to show a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, the 88 is a red flag, to say the least.
Yeah, that's right.
Is this some neo-Nazi video or something? Fuck's sake! Why can't I find the raw video then?
Because the raw video won't be shared around, man.
Yeah.
Here's a Nazi video of George Floyd playing up.
Yeah, I see.
The nigga deserves it, kind of thing.
88 is a dog whistle. So
exactly.
So we can,
like
we can
trumpet,
take it.
You know what I mean?
This is definitely a biased video.
Exactly. Oh my god.
But yeah, look, guys, look. It's very convenient that the only video we can find of this comes from this obvious biased dude. It's almost like the search is being restricted.
Exactly.
You want to criticize George Floyd? You want to say that George Floyd acts up with the stuff he does? Well, 88 said the same thing, and 88 is a neo-Nazi or something. I don't know how he is. But
interesting. But I mean, I'm still willing to see this because I haven't seen this before myself. So I'm still willing to see it.
2019, George Floyd was encountered by police officers in a vehicle. He resisted arrest. He was destroying evidence, trying to eat the drugs that he had in his possession.
Do you want to just skip the commentary and get maybe to the raw video? I'm sure there is some of it.
I don't plan on shooting you. I just go.
Watch the body cam footage. Let me know what you guys think about this.
Undo your seatbelt. Go ahead and undo your seatbelt.
Don't shoot me, man. Please, I don't want to get shot.
I don't plan on shooting you. I'm just saying, just take your time.
I ain't never seen
Okay, relax. Just undo your seatbelt. Let her take care of her guy. Just keep your hands out where I can see him. Hey! Let me. Keep your hands where I can fucking see them. Okay? Put them up on the dash. Put them on the dash. I'm not going to shoot you. Put your hands on the dash. Put your hands on the dash. The last time I'm going to tell you that. It's simple.
Yeah. The officer does have his gun drawn, so it's probably understandable why he keeps saying, "Please don't shoot me." I'd probably say the same thing in America.
He keeps moving his hands around.
I found a news report that uses the same footage. I'm like about 50, 60 results into this YouTube search for George Floyd 2019 body cam footage raw video. It's not coming up. I previously managed to see like the entire raw footage. It really suggested to me, I mean, okay, I can't speak for anyone else, but generally speaking, if a cop like who was like armed with lethal force asked me to like, you know, put my hands down or whatever, I just fucking do it. Like really seriously.
Yeah, lethal force, man. That's man.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would. In all honesty, though, if I was in America and a police officer pulled his gun out and said, I would be saying, please don't shoot me. I'm not even remotely joking, because people get shot all the time in the United States, and it's fucking.
That's right.
So yeah, I would too say, please don't shoot me. But
so there's another link to a news report that might be more neutral. I'll keep scrolling and see if I can find the raw.
Well, I mean, this one is still showing the footage as is, so let's just go with it for now. I mean, you know, it's the footage is still the footage, so we can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's been cut yet, so let's see what happens. If it is cut later on to try to then portray something else, then we'll look at the other one. But let's see how this one rolls.
He won't listen to what I have to say.
There you go, right there. All right,
Okay.
Put your head. Why y'all doing this?
Put them on your head.
Top of your head. Okay, man. Open your mouth. Spit out what you got. Spit out what you got. I'm gonna tase you. Spit it out. He's eating.
I want you to jerk away from me.
That was one yellow pill. Put your hands behind your
That
was one yellow pill, boss.
Okay, now slowly coming out.
Damn, man.
Hand on your head. Put your hand on your head. Okay, relax then. You're not going to get beat up or nothing if you just follow what we're asking you to do.
I apologize to him, man. I apologize, man. I apologize.
Yeah. Here, come on over here.
Where's that music coming from?
What do you got there?
Nothing.
Slow down.
The music, there's like a dum kind of a, I guess, background track, but the beat.
That's the beeping from the.
Yeah, that was
car
added
door.
by the guy. That was added by the guy, right?
Yeah, there is a little hot sort of thudding sound as well, which I think is sound effects added. But the beeping comes from the car, because the car is the doors open, I guess.
Oh yeah, the beeping is the car. Yeah, the beeping is the car.
Okay.
See, if you listen, there's like a heartbeat, thudum, thudum. So there is.
Yes, that's the added music.
Exactly.
Here, come on over here. What do you got there?
Nothing.
Slow down.
Tell her I ain't gonna do it like that, boss man. Tell her I'm gonna do it like that, boss man. Please tell her I'm gonna do it like that. I thought you were just playing. I don't do it like that, boss. I don't do it like this, man. Goodness, man, I'm telling my mama, man. My mama, man, please, man.
Come on, lean back.
I'm not gonna do anything more, blah.
What do you got there?
It's mine right there.
Huh?
It's mine. I did all I could, man.
Hey,
My mama,
pull
man.
back a second.
Why y'all doing me like this, man?
What do you got there?
Man,
What do you got there?
please, man, 'cause I got my paper.
I got something in here. He's got.
Take me to my car, man.
Hang
Please,
on.
man. Please, somebody help me,
Hang
man.
on.
Oh, my God, man. Damn, man.
Is there anything in
Come on,
there?
in this, man. Let's go. How y'all rough this up like this, man?
Yeah.
Like a man. No, man, y'all wrong, man.
Was there anything in it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know bills on me.
All right.
I don't know bills on me. I take bills.
The one that just drops right there.
I said I'm Excelsior, boss. I'm Excelsior. That's why I'm at with it. I can get the bottle. I can get the bottle with you, man. I think you get the Whatever y'all need. Whatever y'all need me to do, I can do it, man. Hey, man, he's got a whole bunch of cash on him, too.
Yeah, my money. I got big bills.
So if you want to get an envelope, I'll put that in
I
there.
got big bills, man. I gonna take my money. I got big
Hey,
bills.
relax.
I work, man. I'm a boss, man. I work down in the door, man. I'm gonna take my money, man.
I'm not saying about taking your money. I'm pulling it out right now.
Man, I got a whole bunch of bills on me. Man, you a damn doctor, man. Sorry, man. My hand was my aim, man. My hand took the damn bottle. I'm gonna need it. I play ball, man. I gotta have medication, man.
Okay, all right.
I got to, man.
You look good, Brian.
No, I didn't hit, man. That ain't right, man. I'm just gotta grow up, man. That ain't the way y'all do it, man. Y'all whip me
Have a
so
seat
bad,
here.
man.
Have a seat.
Y'all whip me so bad, man.
Have a seat.
Let's take this one.
Have a seat. All the way in. I gotta get all the way in there. Slide on over. I know you're a big man. You're gonna have to slide in.
It's you, man.
You're gonna have to slide in. He didn't have any ID on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pay a toll charge and that's money.
There's a bunch of stuff in here. Bunch of powder, I don't know what exactly all it is in there.
That was on
Bunch
his
of
seat.
pills. Yeah, it was on the seat where he was. Yeah, I think so. I'm just gonna grab this for now. I was looking for some ID, and then this was. Just keep this. That was on the seat. I don't know what's all.
The passenger seat?
Yeah. Your ID in here at all? Is your ID in here?
When's your birthday?
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if there's any ID here real quick, and we'll just take it back. Is he George?
Yeah.
You George Floyd?
Yep.
Date of birth 10/14/73?
Is that in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's keep it all together for now. Put it. Whatever.
Can you cover the motel and then put me out of court? Copy.
Was this another guy then? Was this his? Yeah, I know. I was just getting off the hood, so I went. You want me to take the truck back and we'll just search it? I got a whole bunch of stuff in this right here for now.
Yeah, he was eating it and everything.
Well, you can't eat all that. He was whatever. I know.
There's pills. You want to take pictures of this now or wait?
We'll just wait. I got the one thing. We got enough pills and different other stuff.
Four right there, and then
Yeah, I'll just take it on back and
codeine.
yeah,
All right, take it back. Just leave it like that.
yeah. We'll leave it like that. Take photos, everything, and.
Entertainment.
Okay. So Mr. 88 here. I mean to be honest with you, I don't know what to conclude from that. It doesn't. I mean, it did show that he did have pills. He didn't have time to eat them, which is a good thing because George Floyd was alive after that event. Although I did notice he wasn't as claustrophobic on this occasion than he was on the other occasion. because on the other occasion he wouldn't get in the car because he said he's claustrophobic. Now his
it does show
suddenly went away, or at least
it does show that his first reaction was to try and eat all the drugs that he had on his person. Never a good move. And also that, man, I don't know if I'd want to be like one of the cops trying to arrest him. I mean, he's such a huge fucking guy, you know, and he's like obviously like, you know, freaking out or playing it freaking out. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Is he really freaking out because he's like really afraid, or is he just like trying to play the cops? I mean,
right. It could be a cultural issue that maybe a white police officer would perceive an Asian as freaking out, or a black person is freaking out, or a Chinese person is freaking out. So even a person's body movement.
Well, no, it's pretty obvious that he was really freaking out. I mean, look at his body language and you know what he's saying, and the fact that he's crying and stuff. If there's any cultural issue, it's probably more that he's really, really scared of the cops. If he's a drug user, I'm not surprised about that. You know, if you use a lot of drugs, you generally are afraid of the cops because they'll fucking bust you for possession. I don't know how you could say that. I mean, I don't know, man. The cops, at least in this footage, seem pretty calm.
Yeah, I mean,
just because he's a big guy and he's black, because that's what you were saying, wasn't it? You wouldn't.
No, I was saying because. No, I was saying because he's a big guy.
Oh, I mean, if he's a big white guy, then it'd been all right. Do you think?
No. He's yeah. How about
big Chinese guy? All right.
He is a big guy. Look at him. He is fucking huge.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't matter whether he's like white or pink or blue. Yeah. He's like a huge guy. He's resisting arrest. I don't see why you have to make it about him being black.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it was whatever he was. If he was anyone over 6'4", and fairly hefty built, most police officers, just like bouncers. I mean, I have lots of friends of mine who work as bouncers, and the main thing that they are worried about is, if I let this guy in, will I be able to throw him out if he acts up? Will I be able to, manhandle him and chuck him out the club if he starts to misbehave? And that is what most,
that makes sense.
Yeah, are assessing. Is that if this guy starts kicking off, can I actually, subdue him? And police officers, I would imagine, would have the same mindset. They look at the guy and they go, okay, we have to handle this guy, but if he kicks off, how many of us is it going to take to be able to keep this guy under control? And it doesn't matter. I mean, George is a big lad. There are lots of guys his size of all different races and shapes and colors, so it doesn't really matter. It's just the number one thing is, this is a big guy. How do we handle him if he kicks off? And if he's already acting a bit nervous, what happens if I suddenly, put my hand on him and try to put a handcuff on? He suddenly starts to struggle. He's going to throw me around like a frigging rag doll. And that I would worry about something like that. I think anyone in security assesses it just like that. I'll be honest, being black, I mean, you can look at it in whatever angle you wish, but from my friends and the people who I know in security, it's not about whether he's black or not. He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's big built. If he starts kicking around, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have problems holding him down.
We will be showing this video then to say that, because Christopher was saying that he was acting the same way.
I think this is the main thing. There's a pattern of him behaving in.
What was the purpose of us watching this video? Was it to make the point that the previous resisted arrest?
Well,
is that the pattern?
Yeah, pretty much. And that he tried to eat the drugs as well. Well, that he resists arrest and that he tries to eat any drugs on his person. I think those are probably the two indisputable facts. My point about whether he's because
he resists arrest
Okay, I think I know what the idea of this is. You see, in the original in the time when George Floyd died, unfortunately, he behaved almost exactly like this, and people were saying no, he didn't eat any drugs. They choked him to death because they put their knee on his neck, and that's how he died. The central argument for those who don't believe that the police officers killed him is that he took a lot of drugs, and he tried to, in a panic, eat the drugs that he had on him, and that's what killed him.
And
And
so,
that's the coroner's actual report as well.
oh right, so it wasn't the knee on the neck then. So people use this video.
That was an
and stuff
excuse, yeah, and they're using this footage
Right.
to say that he did this before. He would, except in this time he was unsuccessful when it came to eating all the drugs he had, and the other time he was successful. I mean, the coroner in the report that I saw said George Floyd would have been dead by the end of that night. Whatever happened to George Floyd, if George Floyd had gone home that night, he still would have been dead.
Because of the drugs.
He had way
You
too much
know what I just thought
fatal
about?
dose.
You know what I just thought about, guys? George Floyd must be the only person who, like, people know about, who happened to have COVID and whose death wasn't written down as COVID death.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Good point.
The only person.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the fentanyl levels in his body were, I forgot how many, like several number of times over a fatal dose. It's
Yeah,
just,
because he ate his stash, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really common like drug user move.
panic move.
It's a really common panic move. Like, I mean, I don't know why it didn't occur to him that, it would kill him. It looks to me like he's just genuinely really freaked out by the police. And probably...
And the knee in the neck then?
Well, that's the thing.
Well, no.
The problem with the knee in the neck.
That's
is
a different
that was
question.
Part of their training. The police officers have been trained to hold someone down like that. And
but the reason why the knee in the neck is not proper is because supposedly it killed him, right?
Yeah, but
that's the central story, right?
Yeah.
That he wouldn't have died if the officer hadn't kneeled on his neck. Except that's not what the autopsy report shows. That's not what the coroner says.
That's not even right.
Even what it says is that he overdosed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's not even the cause of death. There is no the cause of death for George Floyd wasn't the knee on the neck. It's just the knee on the neck looks really bad. It's very bad PR for the police departments. And in all honesty, if that training, if that technique is removed, because George had 3 other people on him, there was no way he was going to move. That knee on the neck was not a critical, essential maneuver to keep him held in place. So in all honesty, if that particular thing is then taken out of the police force's training of how to hold someone down, it's not a loss to the police officer. It's not going to be a detriment to a police officer being able to handle a person on the floor, especially if you have 3 people holding him down. If it's maybe 1 or 2 of you, you may need a maneuver like that because you only have 1 or 2 people, trying to manhandle a very large person. But if it's 2-3 of you, then I think that if police officers avoid using such a technique, I don't see that as a terribly bad thing. And I feel terrible that George Floyd died, and it's terrible that that happened, and it wasn't the police officer's fault. And I think that is also another crime to actually hold these people responsible for something that effectively George Floyd did to himself. He was a dead man walking from the point he took all those fentanyl. He was already this stuff. Yeah, that's what the coroner's report was saying.
I'll speak to a white police officer, American white police officer, and he was saying that their training says there's no way you're supposed to put your knee on somebody's neck under any condition. That's completely not in the way he was trained or police are trained.
Well,
so he was saying that's
even worse. I mean, if there were, I have seen videos of police officer training in which they are teaching that sort of knee, at least not necessarily maybe the neck, maybe the upper back, sort of shoulder area. But I have seen the police said. Yeah, I have seen them do it.
Said.
So it could be that, I mean, if in all honesty, if this kind of hold is removed from from the result of the George Floyd event, this type of thing, this type of hold is removed from police officers' training entirely. I don't see that as a major loss because, again, it will. It's not that George Floyd would have survived either way. I don't think George Floyd would have survived. George Floyd would not have survived that night. If he had gone home, if no police had interfered with him, he would have died in his. Well, if the police had interfered with him, the reason he took the drugs in the first place, or shoved them in his mouth, was because the police came. But if the police had only just had a word with him and let him go home, there is a what was it? I forgot what it was. It was almost 100% certainty George Floyd would have died in his bed that night. But if George Floyd had died in his bed at that night, no one would have known the name George Floyd right now, because he would just be another drug addict died in his bed out of the 1,000 statistics. Whilst now he's a global phenomenon because he died in the way he did. But in all honesty, it wasn't the knee. The knee did not kill him. The fact that he could talk. You see, a lot of people saying he was being choked. I don't know if you've ever been choked out.
You're making that a statement. You're making that as a statement.
What do you mean?
You're saying it was not.
No, I will tell you.
You're making it as a judgment, as a statement, not as a possible theory.
No, I'm saying
that's what the coroner said.
No, but it's not just that. It's not just what the coroner. If you've ever been choked out in any shape or form, I will promise you the one thing you can't do is talk. You can't talk. There is no chance for you to talk. Just go to any MMA gym, go to any BJJ gym, and have someone choke you out, and you tell me how many words will pass your lips. When you're being choked out, first of all, it's incredibly quick. It won't take 8 minutes. It literally takes 5 to 10 seconds for you to be unconscious if you're properly being choked out. Second of all, you can't talk because you have no air.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There is no way. He was saying, "Tell my mom." He was talking the whole time. You were not going to talk if you're being choked out. He was not being choked. It wasn't a choking event. But I'm not saying that was a good thing. The whole thing looks terrible on the police service, but he was not being choked. Go and get choked out in any MMA gym and come and tell me how many words you were able to say before you went unconscious. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be a talkative person when someone's choking you out. It's just not going to happen for you.
Okay.
The reality doesn't sink for me. But I mean, fair enough. But in all honesty, if the police stop doing their kind of holds because of George, I see that as potentially the silver lining in the situation, because I don't think the police should resort to these sort of tactics when it comes to dealing with citizens. I still think the police do manhandle people way too much, and they go beyond their own authority way too much. So I'm not on the side of the police here. I'm not talking on the side of the police, but I don't want. It's no point, unnecessarily demonizing the police for something that wasn't actually the truth. I'm more interested in the truth than I am in demonizing some group. So
Yo, Banksy, I think
demonizing the Negroes or demonizing the police,
or anyone. Oh, sorry, guys. I just want to say hi to MC. MC, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, MC?
Big up MC. Okay.
How you doing?
I'm good. My liver already recovered from the last night, so everything's good.
Yeah, Banksy, I think you haven't watched enough anime, man. Banksy, you need to watch more anime. In anime, a guy gets stabbed in the belly, and he can still whip out a calm monologue before he dies, man. That's how it is in real life, right?
Yeah, and it's usually something like that. And something like that.
Is that how it happened?
Anyway,
I was watching the Ultimate Fight of season 27 earlier on today. And there's a guy who gets choked out in 17 seconds in the first round. Believe me,
at least in the Fist of the North Star,
he's out cold. I mean, the referees, everyone has to come and spend another 5 minutes reviving him. He is gone in 17 seconds. That's how quickly you can choke someone out. It is so quick.
Anyway, in the Fist of the North Star, it usually end. And I mean, I don't know if they had even the time and the chance to say what I have said or whatever, but I always love the ending to this. お前の方を死んでる.
MC666. What's the 666?
For Satan, of course.
You guys have that in common, man.
IC3.
IC3 has 666.
Come on.
That's Mr. IC3.
So why would 666 be to do with Satan? What's your understanding?
666, the number of the beast. Did you never read the Bible?
Yeah, I've heard that, but why not 555? Why 666?
Because it is not the number of the beast, the number of the guy that actually I like.
Okay, you like him. You like the beast.
Yes, I think he was mistreated because he was only kicked out of heaven for thinking that he would like to be as wise, as intelligent, and maybe as powerful as God himself. And because the Hebrew Godzilla was actually very insecure about that, so he fucking kicked him out of there. That's all.
Okay, interesting. So 666 is in the Revelation, and the Revelation is supposed to be a revelation of the Old Testament. Is that correct? In your understanding?
Yes.
Right. So where's 666 in the Old Testament?
I don't think anybody will know that, IC3. Nobody is very familiar with it here.
I know.
Okay. Tell us. I'm not.
Yeah, I feel like you know it, IC3.
But I want to know his reason for the 666. So if somebody asked me what's the 666.
Go on, man. What does it mean then? Tell us.
Yeah, it's 600. It's in the Old Testament. 600, 60 and 6. A score is 20. So 600, 60 and 6 is 3 times 20 is 60. So it's 600.
Yeah.
It's 66. Yeah.
But how is the number described in the Bible, though?
I'm going to show you. So that number was the tax that Solomon, that's the amount of gold that was paid as tax by all the other kingdoms. 600 talents of gold. A talent of gold. That's what they had to pay all the other kingdoms that were subdued under King Solomon's rule. That's what they paid in tax to his kingdom. So, in a nutshell, the 666 stands for banking, basically tax. You see, yeah, that's right. That's right. So the beast has something to do.
Is the banker
money?
It's something to do with banking. So you'd never hear. You never hear of the number of Satan and the beast being associated with banking. But when you think about banking, that's the only thing that could be so powerful. So banking is a massive beast would be something like banking, because that banking controls every aspect of people's lives.
Okay.
So if the beast would arrive through banking, you'd know. But
okay.
It's always been made to seem like
a quote from a founding father, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Banks are more dangerous than the standing armies.
Exactly. That's right. But most people think banks are just unbiased and neutral and friendly, but they don't understand.
That's my response to that kind of a claim.
There you go. Yeah, but most people, banks are unquestioned. Nobody think that. What, you speak against the bank? No. So if banks were to turn on the people, wow. Then you know what a beast is.
That is the sign of the beast. And is it anything to do? Well, no, I suppose it wouldn't, because the the dragon that appears in the Revelations, it's got 7 heads, not 6 heads, right? So that's not the same thing. That's probably a different
I don't know.
symbology.
Well, for sure it's not King Ghidra. That's for sure.
King who?
No, it's. I was trying to joke. I mean, I have said for sure it's not King Ghidorah. You know, like the three-headed dragon from Godzilla series.
Oh right, okay, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Oh, you're talking
right.
about Hydra, Ghidorah, King Ghidorah.
Yes, Ghidorah.
Oh, Ghidorah. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I don't think it refers to that. I think that's a different. That's just a different mythology.
The banks are worse than King Ghidorah, even if King Ghidorah would be actually a real thing.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, the real beast. Yeah, cannot buy nor sell.
So, Mr. IC3, I saw you today on the final report. I believe the final right reaction. It was meant to be like. Well, I mean, I personally don't think it's the last right reaction. I think Ralph will do another. But he's now addicted and hooked to this.
Right.
If he actually doesn't do another right reaction video this year, I would be amazing.
Or rebrand it, and come back in another. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he says he's going to rebrand, but he's going to open probably another channel. But I think he will do another right reaction because he covets the attention. But you were on the last one. What was said and what was discussed on this final right reaction video?
Wow, it's difficult. It's difficult to summarize.
What were the highlights for you? What were the highlights?
You know, but I think the ending point, which I think encapsulates the whole conversation, is that we discussed whether because a lot of people were saying Trump could be a kind of monarch-like character and a kind of monarch-type character, some kind of king would be the only counter system to this this new world order. It would take a king of some kind, and then we were discussing. Then I introduced the question. Well, for a monarchy to work, is a belief in God? Do you need a God for a monarchy to work? And then we were discussing that. Would you say no?
Yeah, I said no. You don't need a.
Only when, but only when
hold on. Let me finish, man. Let me finish, bro. Okay. You don't need monarchy to have. You don't need a god to have monarchy, but a god definitely makes monarch a lot more powerful, and that's why monarchs started linking their power to divinity all the time. You know, especially after the rise of Christianity and Islam and Judaism. You know, and we were mentioning a while ago if there's been anything like COVID before COVID, and I think definitively yes. I think MC will definitely agree with this point. I think Christianity was, a similar reaction like COVID. It was a new pleb enforcement. Islam was another pleb enforcement, very similar to Christianity, but with some.
Interesting angle. Angle.
That's how I see it personally. And COVID is just another one, just another thing.
Like it's a new religion then? Are you saying the COVID?
Absolutely.
Wow. I haven't heard that angle. COVID is a new faith about 2,000 years later.
Well, then you can count me already as an apostate.
And then who's the person that is chiefly behind the application of healing the world from COVID? Who's the name?
Oh, I don't think there's
Fauci. Is it Fauci?
Are you saying the actual medical guy in America, or are you talking about the drug company Pfizer?
Yeah, who's the big name for fighting COVID?
I don't think there's one big name. I think it is Fauci, but Fauci isn't the only big name. Like there's plenty of big names, and this is why I usually disagree with the absolutist symbolism of Christianity, Islam, and usually most monotheistic religions, because they always see one good guy, one bad guy. It's just simplistic, just like that. I think there's not one beast. I think there's many beasts. And these beasts very often are in war with each other. You know what I mean?
So Fauci could be the new Jesus then in about 1,000 years.
He definitely could, but I don't think he has the looks to be the new Jesus. He's short. He's not. He's unsightly. They might pick a more beautiful Jesus.
I mean, there was a theory if Jesus actually was a stud or was handsome. Nobody knows that, of course, but I think somebody to get people to listen to him, especially women, but because they can influence their men, also have to have a charisma of certain way.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Like,
and so anybody that's speaking against the lockdown, that there might be a leader, a and a follower of Satan.
Yes, burn the witch. Burn the witch.
Yes, that's right. He's a descendant of Satan, the one who was saying, disobey lockdown.
Then trust me, I have such a fucking huge horns when we talk about it. And yes, I am straight from the pit, from the hottest place. I will be competing for that to
competing.
Master Lucifer of anti-lockdowners.
Lucifer of the anti-lockdown. That's right.
But yeah, look, IC3, I wanted to actually ask you something because I got curious by your description of the number of the beast.
Yeah,
it's interesting information. I admit that I didn't really know the exact origin. I do know that, for example, all the numbers of the roulette add up to 666. So that's another symbolism of the number.
Yeah,
because roulette is known as the devil, as a game of the devil, as an evil game, I wanted to ask you, why do you necessarily link the number 666 to bankers? It's like it was a tax. It wasn't banking wasn't developed too much in those days, and taxes exist all around the place. So why don't we link 666 to the structure of power, to taxes and to rulers, instead of linking it to bankers particularly?
Yes, good point. So I put it together. My understanding why I see 666 to do with banking, because it's somehow to do with tax is to do with finance, and tax and finance are aspects for the application of power. I mean, absolute power without perfect control of finance. And so I'm adding the tax, finance, power, and it comes together, I think, the best in banking. Do you think that's what I said? But I could be challenged. What could be more than that?
I mean, look, taxes. I don't know, man. It feels like tax is very different to banking, personally, to me, because banking is something that works on a deal, right? If you don't want to be part of a bank, like, you don't really have to. It's just your life becomes easier when you do. Tax, you can't not pay tax. You're forced to pay tax. So in a way, banking is something a bit more lenient, where you get a little bit of choice on which deals specifically you participate in, right? Like, you can go to a bank, just put your money in the bank and keep it there, and not make part of any other deals. Like, it's very simple.
Okay. So what do you think of this? What do you think of this? It becomes like the relationship between a government, the state, and the financial institutions. So the word bank, I'm just saying the bank, but it's like the Bank of England. What is the Bank of England? What's this relationship to the British government? Is the power with the financial institutions, or is the power with the democracy and the state? And then is the power with the civil service? What is the relationship between the civil service and democracy and banking? See, it's between these three areas. Where is the power? Where is the power? Is it with the banks? Is it the civil service, or is it democracy? Out of those three.
Well, look, I'll shill myself a little bit right now. I'll quote my book, The Devil's Game, and it's the very first text that's written there is has the symbolism of the three main ways of enforcing power.
Yeah,
and I
go on then.
metaphorically as the whip, the coin, and the cross. So in other
Whip,
words,
the coin,
fear,
and the cross.
money, and faith. Those are the. I think those. We can simplify all the different structures of power into those three definitions:
fear, money,
and
what?
faith. And faith.
Right. So this three keep coming. So you got 666: fear, money, and faith. Civil service, tax, and democracy. You see, this three is, I'm kind of getting a feel that this threesome, this represents those three things in different forms. The different words are being used, but it's basically these three things that lock it, or our power. Basically, power is between these three entities.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Just
by
like
different
the Holy
names.
Trinity.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So yes, different names.
Yeah.
So
Same
Pavlov,
thing.
there's actually four, not three.
What's the four?
At least from the point of view of the intelligence agencies, they have a acronym they call MICE, which is why people do stuff, and it's money, ideology, coercion, and ego. So, just a little snippet to think on there.
Interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting.
Money,
ideology, coercion, and ego.
Ideology is faith. Yeah.
Ideology.
Yeah, ideology is faith. Yes.
Faith includes, faith includes ideology. Look, I like that definition too, Chris, but I will still stand with mine, and I'll explain why. I can basically fit all of. I can basically, let me just explain it basically. So money, right? Money is obviously the coin, right? It's very easy to compare the two. So I definitely agree with that. Ideology, it definitely falls under faith, but faith is broader than just ideology. Faith is a lot more than just ideology.
They're all related kind of thing. The Trinity. Yeah, that's right. Go on.
Sorry?
They're all related. These three things, these three elements, these three entities called by different names all relate to each other.
Yes, of course.
Some way or form.
Absolutely.
And power.
Absolutely.
So that fourth is the actual power. It's like this. It's like the Death Star. There's different beings all come together. So when we talk about power, we're actually talking about the application of these three entities. But what they're,
But yeah, look, I think I will definitely include coercion into faith. Ideology and coercion, they both are included into faith, because I don't really think I need to go very deep into this, because we're not
deep. No, it's very deep.
No, but look, I see through. Basically, what I mean with what I said is I don't need to explain too much why I see coercion as part of faith, because none of us are very big believers. You know what I mean? A believer will feel threatened, will feel attacked if I say that faith is a lie, it's all coercion. He will feel threatened. You guys will not feel threatened. So I can basically just say part of faith is coercion, and you'll say, well, yeah, because I don't believe in faith. I don't agree with it.
I would disagree.
Would you?
Coercion, yeah. I would say that coercion is more to do with the civil service or the physical, because they say as above, so below. So faith is just just in the concept. It's like in the ether. But when you see the police, they're physically there. They can actually put their hands on you, whether you believe or not.
Physical. I see three. Look, that's the beauty of faith, because it acts like it's not physical, but it's still also physical. Like faith would never be able to exist if it had no physical form. Like think about it.
Right. So it's a separate entity then.
What?
Yes. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. It's the faith that causes
something very physical.
No, faith. No. Faith is a belief. It's all in the head. Faith is just all in the head, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
It moves. It moves.
No, No, I don't agree.
things.
I don't agree. Look, placebo is faith. Placebo is the best explanation of faith that we can think of. And placebo is deeply physical. A placebo is something that you can compare to conditioning. And conditioning also, for me, makes part of faith. You condition people into being believers. You fear, and faith also is, of course,
Belief, faith.
Yes, faith is very linked with fear and with money. Money in this case is reward. It doesn't need to be a coin. It doesn't need to be paper money. It doesn't need to have a specific body, right? It's about the symbolism. The whole book I wrote is very deeply rooted into symbolism. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. That makes sense. Yeah.
The actual
that's
symbol
right.
is an exchange. That is the symbol of money, an exchange. Fear is
okay. I agree.
I use the coin because it's the clearest symbol of exchange. I use the whip because it's one of the clearest symbols of fear. I use the cross because it's one of the clearest symbols of faith. You know what I mean? But could you repeat the 4 things, Chris, please? Because I forgot all the 4. There's coercion.
Sure.
There's
money, ideology, coercion, and ego. Mice.
And ego. Oh, ego is absolutely.
Ego
has a lot to do with faith. I think I would actually
and value. Ego to do with value, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, I would actually say that my trilogy is more complete because the system that you said doesn't really focus about fear enough, and fear is unbelievably important in.
No, that's what coercion is. That's the whole point.
No, but fear
money,
is a small
ideology.
No,
coercion and ego.
I don't agree.
But you gotta understand, right? I mean, this is specifically for intelligence agencies and why people work for them, rather than an overarching theory of philosophy. I just dropped it in because you were making like a 3-way point, and I feel like you left out ego. I guess. I don't know. It sounded cool.
Yeah, but ego is involved with money, isn't it? Because ego is to do with value and perceived value, and perceived value is to do with faith.
No, not necessarily. You can have people who are poor because of ego, right? You can have people who are poor because of ideology, people who are poor because of coercion. It just depends on what it is that moves you, some people, I mean, the way it's expressed in intelligence circles is that, the whole like lure of wanting to be a spy, wanting to be special. Apparently that really works on some people, and on other people, money works. On other people, telling them it's, for the good of the country, or for the good of their faith or whatever really works. And on some people, just telling them you'll fuck them up if they don't do what you want, that's what works.
Right. So that's 3 then. That's 3, isn't it? Fear will fuck you up.
4.
Where's the 4th?
Ego will fuck you up as well. All of these things will fuck you up. They're ways of getting you to do shit that you wouldn't normally do in service of an agency, basically.
Yeah,
but if we say ego will fuck you up, that comes under fear, doesn't it?
No. Ego is overestimating your own importance in the grand scheme of things. It's surprisingly easy to do sometimes, especially in lockdown, right? People don't realize that. I mean, like in this country, I think there are like 60 million people. Man, that is a lot of fucking people. You know how unimportant we are, like in the vast scheme of things. Yeah, but it's easy because you're always spending time in your own head, right? To start thinking that your views are like more important than other people's. It's part of the human condition, you know what I mean? Because you're always looking out of your own eyes. It's kind of hard to put yourself in other people's shoes, and much harder to put yourself in the shoes of people of whom you've never met. I'd say it's actually impossible. You know what I mean? Like you can only do it in an abstract sort of sense.
Well, look, if you can kind of, to an extent, if you know their situation, you don't really need to meet them to know the specifics. Like it's obviously just
management.
It's not perfect, but you can, to an extent, put yourself in the shoes of a person you never met. Of course, it's more flawed than if you also met them. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I feel like that's highly open to misinterpretation, and I think there's a lot of stuff about other people that we will never really know, and you can't know. Hayek calls this the knowledge problem. It's one of the reasons why governments keep fucking up, because the people in that government, they think exactly as you do, Pavlov, that despite not knowing these people, they can relate to their situation, but they can't. That's why free society is a good idea, because you just let the people get on with their own situation, if you know what I'm saying.
Chris, you can't meet everyone. When you're a ruler of a country, you will need to take risks, and you will need to get some people to suffer more. You know what I mean? It's impossible.
No, exactly. That's my point. That's why when you try and control everybody, it always fucks up, because you can't know what other people are going to do. You can't really know their needs. I mean, you can know it like a kind of surface level, like a group level, or, you know, some kind of like wide-ranging statistics. But the truth of the matter is there's only so many people that we can actually know, can actually meet. And even then, it's a mystery. Every person you meet is like an unopened box of chocolates. You never know what the fuck you're going to find.
Okay, so what do you think of this then?
Oh, man, dude, I fucking hate that metaphor. Seriously, I hate that.
Yeah, sorry.
It's from Forrest Gump. I know that exactly. Dude, but I'll tell you what I hated. I'll give you, don't worry, I'll be really quick. The quote is like this: life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You're going to fucking get chocolates. Always. Like, you might get milk chocolates, or you might get dark chocolate, or you might get white chocolate.
Or you might get a razor blade. I mean, you know, you don't fucking know.
Yeah, but that's
okay. Let me rephrase that. Other people are an unknown quantity, right? And until you get to know them, right, and even that knowledge can never be perfect, they're always going to be an unknown quantity. You know, that's the blessing and the curse about meeting new people, right? Yeah. Because you don't know them, so there's like a newness to them, you know, but you never really know what you're going to get. Yeah, I realize that quote is vaguely related to Forrest Gump, but that's not what I meant. I was just trying to find a cozy allegory, you know.
I'm kind of messing with you a bit, but I honestly, I do actually hate the quote, man, about the chocolates. But anyway, I got your point.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Oh no, my mama once told me.
So the point I was making then, we seem to have this battle now between the 3 and the 4. Yeah. So what do you think of this suggestion? I think the 4th is actually the power. It's the actual power. So the 3, whatever these 3 entities are, I'm not sure of what the right words are for these 3 entities, but these 3 entities properly manipulated together actually result in power. So that's what I believe resolves the 3 and the 4 issue, because I think that we're all talking about the same thing.
Surely the best way to exert power would actually be to press on all 4 axes at the same time. So let me give you an example. Do this thing, we'll give you a bunch of money. You'll be helping the planet. If you don't do it, we're going to kill your kids, and you'll be a much, much better person if you do, and we'll give you tons of awards and all that kind of other stuff. Now, that is an offer you can't refuse, right?
So where's the 4 in that?
Well, the 4th is the ego, right? So, okay, we'll make you famous. We'll make you like a famous rap star. We'll publish your paper. We'll get you to win a Nobel Prize. You'll be a star in your field. You'll be respected by everyone around you. That's the ego part. You know what I
mean? As Bill Hicks would put it, suck Satan's cock.
Yeah, that's right. Suck in Satan's pecker. Suck it.
Yeah, but somehow this ego doesn't seem to have the same power as
I will not allow it.
We will kill you, or fear, or money. Fear, then money. Well, you can't operate, you know, if you don't have the money.
Maybe not to you, right? but everyone is different, right? And that's one of the things they say about this model is that every person has a weakness under this model, an axis upon which they are most susceptible. You know what I mean, right? So the ego axis would primarily appeal to people who felt like they were failures, you know what I mean, who like wanted to be famous or big in their field, or you know, you like you say to someone like, you know, do this thing for us, we'll get you a record contract and you'll have like world tours, or you know, I don't know, just anything to make someone famous and well known.
Yeah,
make them feel like a big cheese.
I just figured out the best way to explain why I don't like to insert ego in there. This is the perfect way of explaining my disagreement with the 4, and for the supremacy of the 3. Basically, I don't know if you guys are anywhere familiar with Sigmund Freud, but he has this thing where he divides the human psyche into superego, ego, and id. ID, not IT.
3 again.
Yeah, exactly. 3.
Right.
But those 3 are not equal because superego and the id are the influencers, and ego is the influenced. It's the chooser. It's the one that picks between the two. It's like having an angel and a devil on each of your shoulders, and they're whispering in your ears, and you are the ego. You are he who chooses between them. So basically, super ego is the angel. It's it's what's right, what's best for society, morality, blah blah blah. Yeah, id is the more childish idea of I want this now. You know what I mean? Desire for immediate gratification. I disagree with the system because I don't see ego as a way of power. I see ego as the chooser to see which way of power is more effective on you. It's the ego of the person that decides whether the whip, the coin, or the cross is best to control the person. Because as you said, different people can be controlled by different means and different...
Man, you're confusing two versions of the word ego, right? There's the Freudian sense that you're talking about, and then there's the common sense, as in, oh my God, that guy has such a huge ego. It doesn't mean like he has a... No.
One thing, Christopher.
Yes, it is the same.
I want to look this up on Wikipedia. What, Christopher? Where did you said the services, intelligence services? What's this called? This 4 thing?
Nice. Hang on. Let me see if I can find something on it. Hang on.
Yeah, I want to just have a quick look because it's an interesting conversation between. Is it the threesome? Threesome or the trio
nice.
Or the
very poor choice of words.
Yeah,
or 4. Shut down this stream for saying the word threesome. You know, something that Susan have to pay for to get.
I mean, look, a foursome is a bit different because a foursome is either 2 people having sex at once or a gangbang.
Pavlov, you want to keep your channel? Stop saying that after I have said something like that about Susan. she will be butthurt jealous about the fact that she have to pay for all of that what we are speaking now about.
Who? What? Who?
Susan.
What the fuck is Susan?
The CEO of this site, of this platform.
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. I'm not that into it.
I'm also not into her. Far from it. I'm just into annoy her because she, even if she would remove my account, I would still come back because unfortunately for her, my localization is out of her reach.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. So this mince, I want to, let's see. Is it 3 or 4? I'm on the side of those who believe in the 3. But let's challenge this.
Sorry to interrupt.
So I linked it in the chat.
Can I just interject just 1 second? Do you know the second MCAD said that that Susan doesn't have reach over him because he's in Poland? He
jumped, man.
He got disconnected. He's disconnected. He didn't jump. He got disconnected. It says device not connected.
Yeah.
So apparently Susan has reach. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Mince.
So yeah,
Let's put it through a test. Susan has no power over me. Oh, nothing happens.
not yet.
Would be suspicious.
Not yet. That's right. Not yet.
Oh, but yeah, Mr. MC3, IC3, sorry, you were saying something about, you guys were talking about something?
Yeah, whether it's 3 or whether it's 4. So whether power comes down to 3 entities, a combination of 3 entities working together, or is it 4? So Christopher was saying the intelligence services, I think he was saying, that's why I want to read up on this. They use a code called MINCE, MINCE. Is that what he said?
No,
Mice.
no, mice. M-I-C-E. I've linked the thing in the chat if you want to check
There
it out.
it is. Susan left
Definitely,
him off the hook.
Yeah,
Fuck that
Susan,
bitch. I won. I'm back.
did she forgive you? Look, MC, I've been asking you, I wanted you to sort of woo her and kind of seduce her a little bit. You know, I basically sleep with her so that she can promote let our channel get promoted.
Banksy, first and foremost, for that kind of a thing, I have to get my reparations for the pain and suffering I will have to endure, because it's a sacrifice. It's not pleasure.
Dude, if this channel becomes, runs into the millions,
I would do it, but
we'll split
you
some of
have
that.
to put a few strings to basically just like a hit from a hitman have to be paid to him for just like for the, I have to also be paid for the dirty work, because it's dirty work basically.
You will be once this channel hits millions of subs, all that sweet AdSense money.
Any day now.
We'll make it rain, baby. We'll make it rain. Sorry, guys, I'm derailing the conversation entirely. What were we? There was.
Mice. Mice is.
Yes, mice.
Understanding your adversary. Money, ideology, compromise.
Compromise.
Ego.
Wasn't it coercion?
Yes, compromise.
Yeah, compromise and coercion are like vaguely the same thing. Since because you use compromise in order to coerce somebody. It's less physical coercion than say like blackmail. I think coercion is literally in the second line underneath it. If you're looking at the article.
Yeah,
the version I learned was
the term compromise
was coercion.
What?
No, nothing. My phone just started to ring. I have a phone ring. Phone sound from a game. Then that's why.
So I read. It's a compromise as a third thing. It says the term compromise here is more about the threat in the human terrain or the insider threat, and not the digital one. Compromise can be seen in the form of blackmail or coercion of an individual to assist in cooperate espionage or sabotage.
But look, I want to go back to one thing. I want to go back to my disagreement with Chris about ego.
Ego, right? Go on. I'll read what they said. What they said about ego.
One second, we have some new persons.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, this is
Hello. Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Sky.
Oh, I'm happy to see you, Betsy.
Oh.
I'm happy to see you. Did everybody see me last night? Did you see me on a Betsy show? Eh?
Yes, she was. She was a wonderful guest last night. It was awesome. Thank you for coming,
you were
Sky.
drunk last night.
I was mostly, and I'm suffering from it now. That's why I'm mostly quiet tonight.
Where do you work? I want to come to your job. Do you
I,
work at the laptop shop or
yeah,
the phone shop?
No, he doesn't reveal his job.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's not.
we
It's
don't
not.
reveal our jobs.
I just work. I work from home actually mostly nowadays because it's COVID. so there is that.
Oh, you lost your job. Did you lose your job from the
No,
corona?
I was lucky. I was lucky. I did swap jobs during this time, but I was lucky I didn't lose my job because I am a reasonably well-skilled individual and people like what I do. Apart from YouTube. YouTube hates what I do.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year in the chat.
Happy New Year, my lovely. Happy New Year. Sky, we were talking about something. Let Mr. IC3 and Christopher talk for a few minutes because they were talking about something that was kind of important. Just give it a minute and then we'll come back. Go on, Mr. IC3.
Okay.
Mice, money, ego, ideology, ideology, compromise, and ego. Are these the facets?
Yeah, so we're challenging. We're on two sides for this evening, challenging each other. Is it three entities, as in Pavlov saying fear, money, and faith, or is it four entities, as in money, ideology, compromise, and ego? And is it possible that the three and the four can the four be reduced to three?
Okay, so
Pavlov's book.
Pavlov, I actually really like your formulation. I would simply add the crown as the fourth one that you are missing, right? Power for its own sake, not power for money or power through faith.
That's power itself.
Well, it's status, really. I mean, the crown is kind of to be seen to have power. Do you know what I mean, right? Like you can have power through money and not be known to be rich, but to wear the crown means that everybody knows that you are the king, right? So there's an element of ego involved.
Yeah, I see. No, look, I agree, but at the same time, look, I think I don't even think the four. There's anything wrong with the four. I think it's all a matter of focus because we're all dividing what power is into tools, how power is enforced, right? And I just think the focus of the four is different than the focus of the three. Like we're focused.
No, you got to go back and edit your book now. You just have to.
No, man, look, I'm not. No, look, hold on.
I actually think your formulation is really cool.
But there's another thing here.
Hold on, Chris, but I still want to discuss a bit about the ego, a bit about what you said, because it sounded like something interesting, but I just didn't get your point too well. Why did you disagree with my definition of ego a while ago?
Shit, I can't even remember. I'm pretty drunk.
I remember more or less. Oh, Jesus, man, the New Year's was yesterday. Why are you getting...
Yeah, man. Because... it's the start of 2021 and I can't wait. I'm so fucking optimistic. The future is so bright. I gotta gouge my fucking eyes out and flush them down the toilet.
Come on, bro.
Sky's doing all right as well with that Jack.
I don't want to go Eastern European on you here, but I also thought about it last New Year's Eve. I mean, not this one. The other one.
Nice one.
Do you really want to do that?
Sky's still enjoying her Tennessee honey as well.
Yeah, look, Chris. I think. Look, I tell you that that's exactly what they fucking want, and I'll give you a specific example in history that can prove that. You know Lenin, right? Pretty shitty personality, fucked up the Russian Empire, then started the fucking commie shit. The commie bullshit started one of the biggest shit shows in human history, right? But still, Lenin wasn't as bad as Stalin. And I think one of the main reasons for that is that I think personally that Lenin actually might have had some good intentions in the shit that he did. And the main reason for that, one of the main reasons, is that Lenin tried his best to reduce alcohol consumption in Eastern Europe. He actually tried to make Eastern Europeans not be a bunch of drunk bastards. You know, he tried to kind of minimize it. He tried to actually make them a bit, more sane in those in that.
Yeah, man, but that's entirely beside the point.
No, it's not. It's absolutely about the point. Let me just finish. Stalin brought right back the encouragement and the huge consumption of vodka that existed in Russia.
You know what? I'm tired of the racism. I'm tired of it. That's what making me angry. And Mickey Blue Eye is the control. He's making me very upset on Wendy's. I want to fight with him.
Oh my God.
Okay. Good luck. Anyway, look, Stalin brought it right back. Stalin basically wanted to use vodka as a way to control the plebs, because fucking drunk plebs aren't as effective at resisting your than sober plebs. You know what I mean? So
right. I do.
Definitely don't drink your sorrows away, man, because we need you sober, motherfucker.
No. I actually think I'm coping all right, actually, comparatively speaking. I just, I don't. I'm just very pessimistic about it. Look, I was saying this on Larry Strawberry's stream earlier. Look, if I'm wrong, I hope all of you will totally point at me and laugh and be like, ha ha ha, you fucking thought it was going to go all so badly. Now look at it, everything's fine. And I'll be like, yep, I really fucked that call up, and I will be grateful, and I will laugh along on with you. But man, fucking, I don't know. I don't see anyone seriously championing a way that we can get out of the lockdown, and I don't see anyone putting forward any hard targets, right? Like when's the lockdown going to be over? When the R is at 5, when the R is at 2.5, when the R is at 0.1. There's no. It's all so fucking vague that really, really creeps me out. It just seems so open-ended that we could conceivably just be doing this for years. You know what I mean? What if the vaccine...
You become unstable. Then you're easy to control because you're unstable. It keeps you...
Dude, it's not about me. It's about society being unstable. It's about the food production system being unstable, the financial system being unstable. I'm just one person. I could disappear tomorrow, and my effect on this society would be minuscule. Right?
What works on the individual probably works on the society as a principle.
Yeah. But I'm talking about these vast, interlinked, complex systems that make society possible. Right? The electricity grid, the food supply grid, the fucking manufacturing grid, finance grid, all of these things. They're incredibly complicated, and they're also kind of fragile when you shut them down forcibly. I don't know, man.
They need to be heavily controlled. They need to be heavily controlled.
No, on the contrary, they need to be not heavily controlled. This is the problem by shutting them down in this way. Why? Because they don't work if they are heavily controlled, as history has proven time and time again. It's one of the reasons why a command economy doesn't work, as the Soviet Union found out. But I reckon they're going to have another go at it with big data and AI, and I don't think it'll work this time either. But
they're going to try it.
They're going to be they're going to try it again. But the problem is that you can't. I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can control individual people now. Now that everyone's got a fucking smartphone, and you can China seems to be doing it okay. But on the other hand, China is completely fucked up, right? No one takes personal responsibility. Because I watch the news, right? And I watch the financial
news. Who's in control of the news and the financial market?
China. What news do you mean? Do you mean Serpenza, ADV China, or Laowai 86?
I watch all of them. I get a lot of news from NTD, China Uncensored. I think I watch about 5 or 6 China-related channels.
Big up China Uncensored, guys. Subscribe.
Yeah, China Uncensored is Chris Chappell. If you ever fucking hear this podcast, and there's no chance you will.
Big up.
Big up. Love that stuff.
I know.
Look, there's a lot of macro shit that is not about interpretation, right? China had massive floods this year. It's like completely decimated their food supply, right? They've cut coal imports from Australia and they're now rationing electricity. These are not like fantasies or like, you know, weird puff stories. These are like proper things that are going on. I know people in Australia who have been affected by...
Wait, Chris. You probably know this, Chris, but have you guys, all of you, heard about the empty plate policy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah!
Yes, I remember that one.
I think I told Banksy, MC, I might have told you. I don't think IC3 has been told.
I've seen Chris Chappell's material on it.
All right, so let me tell you.
What's it about?
Plate policy is basically a simple rule that when you go to the restaurant, you order one. You order one less portions than the people you are with. For example, if there's 5 people going to the restaurant, only 4 can order stuff, and they need to share it. If there's 6, only 5 can order. If there's 2, only 1 can order, and then they'll have to share the order of one of the people, because they had real food shortages.
Holy fucking shit! Now I have something on my mind. You know that there is a comedy from the 80s, from the times of communist Poland. I mean, it's called The Teddy Bear, and that there is also such shit there, and it's mocked at.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's why they take down comedy first, because like mocking this kind of like crazy bullshit is the easiest way.
But it was even worse there. It was even worse in that comedy because there you had the forks and the knives and the spoons tied up in chains to the tables to make sure nobody would steal them. And I mean that. Holy shit, that was funny. And you have to learn to eat because one chain was tied to 2 spoons. Now the person sitting like in the front of you, first it was like paddling. First you have to take your spoon and eat your chunk of the soup or whatever, and then that person, you know, synchronizing it.
Yep. But yeah, go on, Chris.
That could be plans for the future.
Actually, it was quite interesting. NTD did a feature on the Communist Party released like a new thing of like correct words to use and stuff like that. And man, you think doublespeak in the West is bad, man. The fucking CCP are like the absolute fucking masters. So you know what they call poor people? Potential rich people.
Wow.
Potential rich people. It's important that they control the... Yeah, this is real. It's important they control the narrative on... It's real. This is real. Like, I know, this is the point. It seems like a joke, but it's not a joke. It's deadly fucking serious. Like, they exist in a sort of environment where everything is so ridiculous. Pavlov will be familiar with this from the USSR, right? Like... Everybody knows it's bullshit, right? You just say the most ridiculous shit. Oh, we made, you know, the factory closed. We made 5,000 new potential rich people today. You know, like it's like, you know, they say they've got to control information on the coronavirus so that they wind up with the correct historical narrative.
Right.
I mean,
oh yeah, right.
You know,
the narrative. Yeah, got to control the narrative.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Power. To maintain power.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, narratives are really important.
When he just kicked me out. When he said it's not for me. I don't understand.
Are you
what do
here?
I do now?
Banksy.
Sorry,
Banksy.
what's happened? Sorry, guys. I was indisposed. What's up?
When did you kick me out? She says it's not for me.
Who?
Anyway, that's a short script.
No,
Yeah.
when
I'll catch you all later. Great conversation.
Are you off?
Yeah, thanks for joining IC3. Big up. See you later. Bro.
Next time.
Yeah, man, I'm off as well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Chris. Thank you, guys.
Maybe you should wrap up.
I'll see you later then.
To be honest,
Anyway, Pavlov, I have a short clip from that movie, and you can only watch in the moment where they have the spoons. put on those chains.
Right.
You want to let me play that. Just hold. Well, Sky, hold on 1 second. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what. So you mean you can't get on Wendy's stream? Is that what it is?
Wendy said this is not for me,
which one?
And then she kicked me off. She said sorry. She said sorry.
I know. I'll be honest. I think we're like 2 hours and 17 minutes in now, so we're kind of running this show down ourselves.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up.
But just give me a second.
Show MC's video and that's it.
Yeah, let me share my screen with the guys. Let's just finish this little segment from MC. MC's posted this, so let me share my screen with you guys.
Yep.
And we'll finish it off pretty much after this, Mr. Pavlov, if you're good for that.
Yeah,
let me just
Milk bar Apis.
Okay, let me hit play on this big boy and see what we can see.
You don't even see the whole of it because there's a moment there's one to show you.
Z dżemem są pire.
Dobrze, niech będą.
Proszę panią, do mnie pani podejdzie.
Zaraz!
Niech pani wróci tu jeszcze.
Oh my god!
Oh no! One at a time. One at a time.
I told you!
Numerek 78, miejsce 13, stolik 3.
This is funny.
No i co tak grzebie? Jeszcze talerz przekręci. Do widzenia.
What the fuck are you doing? You're going to turn all the table. She is screwing down the table.
She's screwing down the plate, the bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, the plate. I mean the plate.
Oh my god.
This is funny, no more fun.
Because you want to steal that because plate were instead short supply.
Który masz numer?
78.
A ja 74, tylko w kiblu byłem.
Oh. And of course, the people will survive and will get.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with that?
I think it's a fair fight, man. I think he's down. I think the short guy would kick his ass, man.
Yeah, bit of MMA choke him out. Oh my goodness, that was good. I like that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, I'm just amazed that the censors have let it out because I mean, probably the quality of censors and their intelligence was so low because everything was, was given and taken by connections, and in those, later stages of that system. It was so degenerate and so in decline that even the censors actually either didn't give a shit or just could not recognize that they are making fun of them, making fun of the entire system.
You sound German.
German, no, Polish. He's Polish.
He's Polish. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining in, and see you all next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna wrap it up now. Thank you, Sky. I'm so sorry I didn't get to talk to you. Let me do another stream another time, and we'll talk a bit more then. At the moment, this show is it's kind of it's a bit of a specific thing. But have a good night, my love, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay.
Bye bye. Okay, boys and girls, I am out of here. You're out of here. Pavlov is out of here. We are just gonna wrap it up with a little ending of the show. Where is the endings? Here it is. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, everyone. Once my computer decides to load. Here we go. Have yourself a good night. Take care now. Bye-bye then.